I see the mailman coming, but he doesn't seem to be carrying any packages for me, and I know I should be getting something today. Huh, let's see. All right, Jeff here. How's it going there, Vinyl community? So, yeah, whatever. Mailman comes, mailman doesn't. I know there's something UPS coming. So, anyway, I did get some stuff, though. Another, just weird. So, it's kind of like in a row. You go to thrift stores and stuff over and over, and the same old stuff that you never get anything, and then all of a sudden you get on this streak. So, another mini haul of decent stuff. Now, I will say this is not... I went to a store that's not really a thrift store, more of a secondhand store, books and records. And so you take your stuff in there and they give you a couple dollars for them, and then they sell them for, well, they're mainly books, and the books that they sell them for half off the cover price. So you'll get a couple bucks, and I've taken things in there, DVDs and CDs and books, and you get a credit in the store credit, and then you can turn on and get whatever you want. And so I usually go in there and just, of course, go through the records bins and pull out stuff. This is the same store. It's right next door to a thrift store too, and the prices actually are identical to the Goodwill store, which is not, they're not cheap anymore, as cheap as they used to be. The same store that I just showed a few videos ago, where I found that great haul of like 80 stuff, including the Captain Beyond and some of the other ones, and then I'd made the joke about leaving behind the Culture Club, but it's the same place. They occasionally have decent stuff, and you know, a little better than your typical thrift stores, because you know, of course, they're buying them. So I go in there, and if you picture this, there's like a rack right down the middle, just a typical wood rack with a bunch of flip bins in it on both sides, and it goes right down the middle of the store. And then there's books and stuff on each side. Right in front of that is a metal rack with, you know, 3 layers of flip stuff. And so that's the new stuff. So when you walk in, like when I walked in that last time I mentioned it, I walked in and Captain Beyond was right there on the top staring at me. Ooh! This time I walked in, right in front was like a box set. So I didn't say this in the last video, but I did comment to somebody in the last, on the last, not the last video, but the last thrift store video. I went to the thrift store where I picked up the jazz stuff, the Gordon Lightfoot and the other miscellaneous jazz, and the Boots Randolph. And right in the front of their vinyl record section was a box set. And I'm like, oh, wow. Wow, you know, I probably would buy that. And then as I approach it, it says on the box set in the corner, cassettes. I'm like, oh, man. Then I open the box set, and there's no cassettes in it. So I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know if they had them back behind the store. So I walk into this store. A few days later, different store, same box set. I'm like, that is so weird. And as I approach it, it says 5 LPs on the box set. It doesn't say cassettes. I picked it up and looked at it, and the albums inside looked like they were unplayed. They were like minty fresh. I picked up Bruce Springsteen's Live. Now, I'm not a huge Springsteen. I'm not really a Springsteen fan much at all beyond his hits. I don't really have any of his stuff, but I thought, hey, this is almost kind of like a best of, at least best of from 75 to 85 live. And again, it was mint. And as you can see, it was only $20, which I know, yeah, you can get this online for probably $15, but you're going to pay $8 or $10 to ship it usually. And I've seen them mostly online for $30 and above when you buy them like on Discogs or whatever. But, you know, it has the book and it has the 5 albums in the inner sleeves. And it was just, the albums were so shiny. And I played one of them so far this morning. And yeah, it sounds like a new album. So this alone, I was like, well, that's cool. And I just went to the store because I had to pick up my daughter who works a couple stores down in the strip mall. And I thought, hey, I'll kill some time. I got 20 minutes before they close. Let's run in there and get this. And I walked in and I saw this. Well, that wasn't the end of it. Started flipping and I just started pulling. Yes, 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 I'll do this. Yes, I'll do. And next thing you know, I had a stack. And I'm like, okay, what the heck? Somebody else came in there and sold a bunch of 80s stuff. Missing persons. This is just a single. They charged me, you know, only like $2 for this. A single for I Can't Think About Dancing. It's got 3 or 4 views on it. So that was just that was actually not in the new release, but that was in there. But they had Pat Benatar, Tropica, the Tropico. They also had a couple other of hers, but I had those. So they had like 2 others. They Get Nervous and one of the other ones. I can't remember. But I already had that, so I grabbed this. The Romantics, you know, that's what I like about you. So, you know, and again, they were in good condition. The Police. So I need to get some more of the Police in my collection, but, you know, this is a good place to start. And, you know, went ahead and grabbed that. The Tubes. Now, what is this one? This is called Outside Inside. Yeah, and this is the one with, you know, she's a beauty, she's one in a million, girl. You know, so it had the big hit. This is like 83-ish. It's got a die cut there, but since I took the album out and put it on the back, you can't... Normally you can see the inner thing through the circle die cut right there. And then it's embossed here with the eye chart, which you probably can't see in the plastic bag. But anyway, some 80s pop goodness there. Huey Lewis and the News 4. This is the album with Jacob's Ladder and other hits. So this is, I think I've got... I need the first Huey Lewis, but I think I've got the majority of the earlier stuff now on vinyl. Funny, because I picked this up in my last haul a couple videos ago, but I picked up another Phil Collins. This is, of course, this is the one that's got the hits on it, like I Don't Care Anymore, You Can't Hurry Love. Anyway, some other things like that. So it's got a couple good hits on there. One of his more popular ones, Hello, I Must Be Going. So this will be my second Phil Collins album. Then we're getting in some of the 70s stuff. We got the Eagles Hotel California. That was in good condition, so I grabbed that. The Monkees, the original, the first album, 1966. So this is like the year of my birth. It is the mono pressing. And this one needs to be cleaned up. It's a little dirty. I didn't even want to stick this on. I could Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. Again, you know, I'm not huge into Bob Dylan, but it looked to be in great condition. And I thought, yeah, you know, I've already got a bunch going here. The more you get, a little bit more of a discount. And then this one, you know, looks bad, but when I checked it, it looked good. And it had a big sticker on it, as is. Well, duh. I got the Beatles, the Red album hits. Now, what this is it got stuck to an album. You can see it. It got stuck to another album. And I've seen people do it. I'm going to have to go try to find some videos. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Value Vinyl, Steve or somebody probably. But, you know, I'm thinking there's a way to kind of get this unstuck. And then it'll pretty much preserve the album underneath. It's got some water damage on there. So you can see the inner sleeve is a little bit of... moisture damage. The records themselves are, you know, fine. Yes, that was the last one I grabbed, and that is a double record set. So I just was stopping by there because I had a few minutes to kill before my daughter got off work, and I'm like, wow, you know, great stuff. I left behind some stuff that I already had, you know, so obviously they've had some 80s stuff that got sold off, and then they had Billy Joel and, like I said, some other Pat Benatar. Then they also had up in the top rack, like, probably 10 or more albums by Elvis. Now, I don't know anything about Elvis as far as his collection. I couldn't tell if these were of any value. Some of them were like soundtracks, some of them were albums. I don't know. Were they best of? Were they just compilations? Were they worth anything? But I didn't feel like with all of this in my hand, I couldn't really start my Elvis collection by jumping in. But it would have been nice to grab a whole stack of them at one time. But anyway, that's it for now. I just wanted to show that. I found it to be a nice little haul of 80s hole fillers for my collection. And it's really, you know, it's rare to see that kind of stuff in some of these stores, but it's great when you do. Thanks a lot for watching. I will be back. Rock on, rock hard.